What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subs, I think. Something around like 82, 81. So I greatly appreciate your support on that front. In today's video, we'll be talking about something I'm pretty excited about. So I'm a big kind of advocate for optics on pistols specifically. I think everyone should learn on optics and then circle back and be proficient with iron sights. I think it makes the overall learning experience significantly easier that way. There's less things to have to deal with and think about while you're learning how to shoot. So I came across something that is pretty exciting. It's pretty cool. Forever I've shot hollow sun, have some experience with like SROs and RMRs. Recently I came across this thing. So this is the Viridian RFX35. It is I think it's their new full-size handgun optic, or pistol optic for that matter. So why am I so excited about this thing, right? So like I mentioned, I've had some past experiences with the SRO. To me, the SRO is one of, if not the best optic on the market currently, when speaking of open emitters specifically. And this is Viridian's, I guess, take on something of that nature, right? That kind of larger window, RMR footprint type of optic, excuse me. So the cool thing is, this thing has all of the features of the SRO, the window size, the footprint, the battery life, even the material, but it's a third of the price. So like I mentioned in the past in a couple of videos, I'm a huge stickler for packaging, right? Everything you buy comes in a box. It's your first impression of that product. The RFX came in this kind of neon greenish cardboard box. It's one of those open in front kind of boxes. So not too bad, quite honestly. I've seen worse packaging for optics. I've also seen better packaging for optics, so you know, it's no real complaints here, right? You get your product registration in the package, a 50% off discount code when you order direct. I'll have a look into this because I didn't notice it when I first opened the box. You have your RFX quick start guide. And then you get obviously the optic, a little tool, and the battery, right? It also comes with a little Picatinny adapter, so if you want to mount it on something like a rifle or a PCC of that nature, you can do so as well. I think it would make a good optic for something like a backpack gun. It's nice and small, but it still gives you that kind of big enough window to make it usable, right? You also get a little cleaning cloth that comes in the box as well. And then you get a big old Viridian sticker that will be going on my safe, right? Who doesn't love stickers on their safes? So I'll throw that over there. That's pretty much that. So let's get into why you're here. Here it is. So as you can see, hopefully this is, you know, good enough lighting for you guys. It looks very similar to an SRO, right? You have the large circular window up front. It is a little bit more boxy than an SRO. The SRO is pretty much round all the way across. The RFX has two little like stop ledges on each of the sides. I'll try to show you here as best I can. So there's a little stop here, a little like corner, and then a corner on this side as well. You have your elevation adjustment on top, and then your windage adjustment on the side. Of course, everything is fully clear, right? No mag. Visual and physical check as well there. So no need to worry. So why is this interesting, right? Like I mentioned, it has all the features of an SRO. It uses the same T6 aluminum material that the SRO uses. It has a 30,000 hour battery life, which I believe is the same as the SRO. It's about 3.5 years. I think if my math is correct. It has the same size window as an SRO. So the windows are about 22 millimeters by 25 millimeters. This is 20 by 28, if my research is correct. So it's it's like half a millimeter larger once you kind of average out, you know, those numbers. The dot itself, I'll try to show you here. Gotta get on my black shirt, maybe that'll help. It is a green dot, not a red dot. Viridian is known for green lasers. Green is the easiest color to pick up for the human eye, so Makes sense. I usually only shoot red dots, or I've only shot red dots for the most part. So actually transitioning to a green dot has been pretty strange, but actually kind of easy at the same time. There you go, I'll show you there. Very bright, very crispy green dot as well. I have pretty bad astigmatism, so all of the optics I ever shoot are pretty starbursted. If you have astigmatism, you know what I mean. None of the actual dots are crisp. They're kind of like sunbursts, right? Kind of blurry in a sense. This actually is, I'll try to show you up close. I don't know if you can really tell there, but it's actually very, very crispy for, you know, being a green dot or being a dot in general, at least for my eyes. I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, so you just let me know in the comments down below. So transitioning to this thing was actually very easy and very intuitive. A lot easier than I imagined. Learning optics and changing optics, you know, when they have different, not footprints, but different geometry where one sits a little bit higher than the other, one sits a little bit lower, kind of those things. Can be kind of a transition period. But actually, you know, relearning with this thing and picking it up has been very, very easy. One of the biggest benefits of this is, well, there's a couple things like I mentioned, right? Same aluminum, same battery life, same size window, if not a little bit larger, about 0.5 millimeter. Is it noticeable? Probably not, honestly. It will be noticeable over things like a 507 or an RMR, or even like a 508 for that matter, right? The Holosuns. This window is absolutely massive. The best part and why I think, or why I'm so in love with this thing is an SRO, depending on where you purchase, will run you upwards of $600 or so, right? Give or take. This comes in, again, depending on where you buy, at around 250 bucks. So almost a third of the price. I'll let you make that decision for yourself, right? I think for a third of the price, pretty much the same optic in terms of features and what you get out of the box. It's a pretty hard optic to beat if it does work out the way I think it'll work out. I put around 200 rounds or so through it yesterday, just to zero it and get a feel of how it shoots, how it operates, if I get any issues, if I get any flickering, that kind of thing. Shot pretty well. The glass being so big, whenever you're shooting or trying to kind of rope together multiple shots, you don't lose the actual dot itself, just because there's so much real estate for this thing to kind of move around, which I thought was phenomenal. For the past couple months, I've shot on like a 507 and a 507K and a 507C, the Holosun optics, right? So shooting this window, this optic, having this large of a window was a very, very nice change, right? It makes things, it opens up everything, right? So I'm a big, big fan. The only downside, the only negative, I don't want to flag myself here, the only negatives that I found with this thing were two. And this is just personal preference, so maybe it's not such a big deal for you guys. Again, just let me know in the comments down below. The first thing that I'm not a huge fan of, that I think every optic should be or have, is top loading or side loading the battery, right? Holosuns have the little side window, or little drawer, right, that you just unscrew and pull out. The SRO and the RMRs, I think, even have the top loaded battery compartment, right? That kind of, this pops off, battery in, battery out, easy, no need to remove and re-zero. This does not. The battery compartment is on the bottom, so it's underneath. You have to pull the optic off, swap batteries, reinstall, and then re-zero, essentially. It's one of those things, right? With a 3-year battery life, realistically, if you keep the same firearm or keep this on the same firearm, unless something on the slide fails or if something on the optic fails, then it's not that big of a deal in reality, right? Like, you don't really, how often are you pulling off your optic to do maintenance? I rarely do it. I rarely do maintenance. I haven't cleaned this gun in probably 2,000 or 3,000 rounds, right, give or take, just because I like to see how things hold up over time. The second thing that I'm not a huge fan of, and it could be a preference, maybe it's just something that I'm used to. Like I said, I've shot Holosuns for the past 6 months at least, right? Just kind of what I've had on my guns through that time. The actual windage and elevation adjustments, there's no audible click. I don't have the tool here with me to show you, but usually on like Holosuns, and I think even on like the Trijicons, whenever you're adjusting, you get like audible and you can feel the clicks of the actual adjustments. This does not have that. This is just a almost like a set screw for the adjustment, so it just rotates. You feel it rotating, but there's no click, and there's no audible click either. One of those things, you know, like once it's zeroed, I would imagine, and we'll see over time, come up on like 1,000, 2,000 rounds or so. If it holds 0, then it's not that big of a deal. I usually put a little mark anyways on my screws, just cause I don't think it really makes a difference, but it's just, I'm just aiming like that. I do that even on my actual optic screws as well, just to see when and if they start to kind of undo themselves, right? I put a little marker nub or marker mark on the actual optic to let me know if that's happening. So that's pretty much my quick review after 200 rounds or so of the Viridian RFX35. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, like I mentioned, I'll give you guys an update at about 1,000 rounds, maybe 2,000 rounds if you want them. So let me know in the comments. I think for the money, if it holds up like I think it will, it's a hell of an option, right? It comes in way cheaper than the actual RSO. It's about 120, 130 bucks cheaper depending on where you shop than some of the Hollow Suns. So you make that decision for yourself. It also has a 7-year warranty. So again, let me know what you guys think about the RFX35. That was my just kind of quick overview, first impressions video. Also, let me know what carry optics you carry or what optics you have on your carry guns, right? And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next week. Cheers.